Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're doing something really fascinating. We're taking a dynamic look into the profound biological shifts that happen during the first 6 months of feminizing hormone replacement therapy. Let's just dive right in, because what happens inside the human body during this transition, it's literally a profound systemic shift. We're going to map out exactly how an entire internal ecosystem completely changes its balance of power, using the exact medical journey from our source material. To really wrap our heads around the complex endocrinology going on here, I want you to think of the human body as a biological kingdom, a kingdom with a massive castle. Now, inside this castle, your hormone receptors act as thrones. And here is the absolutely crucial rule of this kingdom. Only one hormone ruler can sit on a throne and give orders to a cell at a single time. It's a completely exclusive seat. You just can't have two rulers on one throne, right? Keep this image of the castle in your mind as we map out this incredible 6-month journey, because it perfectly explains the wild chemical battle we're about to explore.
Okay, so, Section 1. The Kingdom's First Rebellion, Day 1 of the Siege. Let's look at what this biological battlefield actually looked like on the very first day. 510 nanograms per deciliter. On day 1, the body was completely, unquestionably ruled by the original dictator, testosterone. I mean, at 510 ng per dl, testosterone was occupying almost every single receptor throne in the muscle cells, the skin, the brain, you name it. It had absolute control. It was just sitting high and mighty across the entire kingdom, sending out its specific signals without any competition whatsoever.
You can clearly see the sheer imbalance right at the start of the process here. On one side, you have the dictator, that massive, overwhelming presence of baseline testosterone we just talked about. And on the other side, we've got the brave, tiny rebel force introduced on day 1. We're talking just 25 milligrams of spironolactone and 1 milligram of estradiol. It is a literal David and Goliath scenario happening down at the microscopic cellular level. The baseline numbers were huge, and that initial dose, well, it was very, very small.
So, because of this massive imbalance, what actually happened on day 1? Well, that 1 milligram of estradiol didn't just walk straight into the castle and effortlessly take over. No way. It had to slip in through the back door. The 25 milligrams of spironolactone managed to knock just a few testosterone rulers off their thrones, which allowed the estradiol to rush in, sit down, and fire off its first few feminine signals. But it was a constant, exhausting tug of war. Because there was still so much testosterone floating around in the system, the heavy tea would quickly push its way right back onto those thrones. Estradiol sits down, testosterone pushes it off. This ongoing microbattle is exactly why the body often feels kind of confused and really tired at the start of HRT. The rebellion started, for sure, but the dictator is fighting back hard.
Moving on to Section 2, Starving the Dictator, the Midway Shift. As the months roll on and medical doses steadily increase, the whole strategy changes from a small backdoor rebellion to a total, uncompromising siege.
Here's how this siege actually works biologically. Step 1, the spirolactone dose increases significantly, jumping up to 150 milligrams. Now, a lot of people think Spiro's main job is to destroy testosterone in the blood, but actually, scratch that. It's a common misconception. Instead, it acts more like a massive wall of shields surrounding the cell receptors, which brings us to step 2. Because of this heavy shield wall, testosterone is physically blocked from sitting on the thrones. It's locked out of the castle, and that leads perfectly into step 3. The brain's control center, the hypothalamus, realizes testosterone isn't connecting to the cells anymore, so it simply assumes the body doesn't need it, and it stops sending the chemical signals to produce more. The old dictator isn't just blocked, it's completely starved out of existence.
Now for Section 3, the new queen reigns, month 6. The exhausting tug-of-war is finally over, and a peaceful, brand new system has officially taken over the kingdom. Mapping this journey really shows you how incredibly hard the body has been working. Day 1, the rebellion begins with that tiny dose slipping through the back door. By month 3, the Midway Siege starves out the old dictator by raising that massive shield wall of spironolactone. And finally, at month 6, the kingdom is won. It takes time, right? Time, consistency, and a massive biological chain reaction to build an entirely new reality. And here is the undeniable proof of that victory, a 95.8% drop. Over those 6 months, testosterone plummeted down to a quiet 21.2 nanograms per deciliter. That puts it well within the ideal, normal, cisgender female range. The old dictator literally has zero power to fight back anymore. The shield walls worked, the hypothalamus shut down the production lines, and the testosterone was totally crushed. With the old dictator entirely out of the picture, estradiol safely commands the cells at a beautiful 123 picograms per milliliter. And get this, that's at its absolute lowest daily point. Because those testosterone shields are up and the T levels themselves are so incredibly low, estradiol didn't have to fight a single soul anymore. There's zero tug of war. Estradiol has this open, completely uncontested path to every single receptor thrown in the face, the hips, the chest, the brain. It can just safely sit down and take its time.
And with estrogen safely seated on those thrones, it commands the cells to create this blooming feminine ecosystem. We start seeing the real-world, tangible results of all that internal work. A softening jawline, glowing fat on the cheeks, gorgeous glossy eyes, and breast growth. The biological kingdom is visibly thriving under its new ruler.
I actually want to read this quote directly from our source material because it captures the essence of this 6-month milestone so perfectly and so personally. It says, "You went from a chaotic chemical war zone on day 1 to a perfectly harmonious, blooming feminine ecosystem today. You did that, bestie." I absolutely love that. It's such a warm, celebratory reminder that your consistency and patience are what ultimately handed the crown to the right hormone. The body fought a massive internal war, the shields were raised, the strategy was executed, and the victory is just profound.
Which leaves us with one final kind of mind-blowing thought. If targeted patience and consistency can entirely rewrite our internal ecosystems, literally dethroning one biological dictator and installing a completely new, harmonious ruler, what else is the human body capable of adapting to? Seriously, think about that. The sheer resilience of our biology is staggering. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next one.